everyone. I am so excited to be joined by my colleague, Jarod Riedl. He is a member of Silver's SRS, Sustainability Risk and Strategy team. And I'm proud to say he's a member of our London presence. And more exciting is that I will be joining him in London next week. One of the reasons why we wanted to bring this to you is one, that everyone should know that Silver now has a presence in the UK. Two is the reason why we have this presence is because we want our clients, our partners, and friends of the firm to know that we are at a precipice now that sustainability, risk, and strategy requirements in the UK, EU, and globally have now converged into a regulatory requirement. It's no longer just an instrument to be used for purposes of appeasing institutional investors. And the reason why we now have this presence in London is to ensure that our clients have the expertise to understand and for us to be able to give the regulatory initiatives and requirements around sustainability and ESG disclosures. So, Jarod, I would love for you to expand upon this. And what are some key points that our audience should be taking away from what our sustainability and compliance teams, now being in London, can learn from?
Yeah, thanks, Fizza. I think the opportunity in the UK, in the EU, for providers on sustainability risk and strategy and associated regulations really fits our firm really well. We were born with this compliance mindset, advising US-based investment advisors on their SEC, CFTC, and associated obligations. And our sustainability risk and strategy business has really expanded to complement that and grow in areas of sustainability disclosure, sustainability policies, and now, as we've seen over the past few years, the proliferation of sustainability regulation. So, sitting here on the ground in London, it's really a huge change from sitting in New York and the US and just seeing the inherent attitudes not only regulators have, or excuse me, not only investors have, but regulators have on these topics. Given Europe's kind of more advanced market position, sustainability funds here consistently outperform their US counterparts in terms of capital raised and things like that. Regulators naturally have turned towards these issues with a much more discrete focus than they have in the US. So really what we've seen is both that LP demand from both a retail and institutional perspective, which has driven our not only European and UK-based clients, but our US clients into the fray
Indeed.
here. Yeah. So as we've seen these US clients kind of expand into Europe and the UK from a marketing perspective, they've come under the purview of these regulations. In the EU, it's primarily SFDR. In the UK, it's SDR. And that's really been exciting to experience on the ground here in London.
Thank you, Jarod. And one additional point that might be helpful for our audience is we know that the PRI reporting requirements and disclosures are going to be due. In addition to PRI, are there any other regulatory or disclosure deadlines that we should be aware of?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a number of deadlines coming up over the next few months that are key for regulated entities here in the UK as well as in Europe. June 30th, we have two key deadlines. One, that's SFTR periodic reporting. So any firms offering products labeled as Article 8 or Article 9 under the Sustainable Finance Disclosure Regulation will have until June 30th to submit periodic reports under those Article 8 or Article 9 designations. In addition, here in the UK, we have mandatory TCFD reporting for both firms and products. those reports are also due for an annual refresh on June 30th of each year. So we're working with clients right now to complete each of those requirements, and are happy to assist others who may be running up against the deadlines right now.
Terrific. And if there are questions around this, how does one know, how does a manager know if they're even subject to these requirements? Is this something that obviously they should be aware of, but if for whatever reason they may not have gotten the requisite guidance or they don't have a team like ours or outside counsel advising, what are some key points for them to know that they may be subject to these disclosures and reporting requirements?
Yeah, so SFDR is applicable to all managers who are either themselves based in Europe, or for non-European based managers, those that are formally registered for marketing in the European Union or any of its member states. So for SFDR, we've seen a number of products, particularly in fund hotspots like Luxembourg and Ireland, where the manager and the fund come into the purview of SFDR. At the fund level, products under SFDR have to register as Article 6, 8, or 9. If you've registered as Article 6, you don't have this periodic requirement, but those
Okay.
registering under Article 8 or 9 who make pre-contractual disclosures about their sustainability characteristics do have to complete this periodic reporting, and that's what's due at the end of June. In
So
the
they should
UK,
already know by way of having registered as an Article 8 or Article 9 manager or having those funds that they have this obligation.
exactly, yeah. Um, so in the UK, we have those TCFD requirements. Those are for managers with over 5 billion in AUM, in
Okay.
GBP, not USD,
Okay.
who have under a FCA regulated entity. So this is not a global AUM number. What we
Got
have
it.
seen though for many clients is a lack of understanding that this AUM does not necessarily need to sit in the UK. It rather just needs to sit
Mm,
under the UK entity. So a number of our
big
US
distinction.
clients, yeah, our number of our US clients have their EU, EMEA businesses registered here in London under the FCA. So all of that collective AUM will count towards that 5 billion cap. So it is a little bit more common to have that 5 billion than maybe at first glance, because it's not just UK specific AUM. It's anything that sits under that FCA regulated manager.
Understood. So clearly there are nuances that managers should be aware of. And obviously, to the extent that we can serve as a resource to our audience, they should feel free to reach out. Again, I'm really excited about seeing you, Jarod. I'm excited about the meetings we have set up with clients and partners with the firm. If anyone is going to be in London next week and would like to schedule time with us, or if you'd like to further understand about our sustainability risk and strategy team and how we can assist you in the disclosures and reporting requirements that Jarod outlined for us today, please feel free to reach us at info@silverreg.com. Jarod, I'll see you on the other side of the pond. And it's going to be wonderful spending time with you and our team.